the basis and just do a reboot, retool, whatever you wanna call it, and just start again with the same passion that we want to start before. People are out there waiting for,
Right.
for this organization to do something.
Right.
Yes.
Well, here's what you all could do, you know, and I say you all because I'm not in data or anything, although in my orientation in this organization, my orientation in this organization was dating a young lady in New York whose brother was a member years ago, and I never heard of it again until I was on, probably, Eventbrite, and just saw that it was at my alma mater, which is why I came, in this meeting, I should say. But, this young lady here has made a, talked about part of the legacy of BDPA, which was how many businesses were launched out of BDPA.
Right.
And that's really what you all can share with this current generation of young African Americans who are trying to follow these white kids into this systemically racist means of launching business through funding sources that will never give them a goddamn dime.
Right.
We have to show these young folks how to launch businesses using savings, incorporating, fake it till you make it, go after contracts and stuff, the way we launched businesses back in the day, and the way, people who understand the fundamentals of business are still doing. I mean, just getting funding from these VCs and PEs and angel capitalists, that's a pipe dream for black kids, but they're all being told you can do that, but they can't, you know what I'm saying? So that's the biggest thing that we can offer to bring the young folks into, and about branding's been around a lot longer than you talked about, because the liquor industry was branding over in Europe in 300 years ago. But it may be time to update the brand. I mean, because the BDPA, that's data processing, that's like a term that started with data entry. And no, hear me out first. Without even changing the acronym, you can change that to Blacks in Data and Programming. Data is a very current term, and programming is a very current term.
As long as you keep the black in there, because at one point they talked about, just using those letters
Right.
without black in there. And I remember opposing that.
Yeah,
They
no,
took the black out of it,
No,
because we
black,
wanted to
I
be
mean,
more
it is
inclusive.
what it is. I mean, we
It
try to help
wasn't
black
though,
folks,
for
right?
a
So you
minute it
gotta keep
wasn't,
that
they
in there.
pulled it out.
Yeah, you gotta keep that in there, but Blacks in Data and Programming Association would be more relevant than data processing. So, I mean, it's all about branding. I'm a marketer by profession, and I also did corporate partnership development as a business for 20 years. And let me tell you, things have changed. Corporations used to give from the heart. They now give from, number one, their corporate culture, and from the C-suite. There is no decision authority below the C-suite on any spending nowadays, especially when it comes to corporate partnership spending. So you have to become so relevant and so powerful that you can get an executive vice president at least to say, yeah, that makes sense, because anybody else, they're just gonna be essentially your internal salesman up, to try to get up the food chain. And if they don't truly believe in you, and then why would you want them to tell you a story? We gotta get to the executive food chain level, So I'm just saying that, there's, some rebranding has to occur, but there is a fundamental thing that can happen, again, that you can show the younger generation to get them excited about BDPA. And that's how to launch businesses without worrying about who's gonna give you some money,
So I think the biggest takeaway that we should all walk away from this meeting with is that we need actionable steps in order to get to this point. One actionable step that my organization, actually two, that we can bring to the table that can be enacted within the month is that I've already created my own online tech academy. It's up and going right now, and we are working with the Chicago Public School systems in order to start doing pilot programs. So in the summer, we've already partnered with Common. You all know who Common the rapper is, of course. We've also, I'm on the board of directors for Kanye West's, his own scholarship foundation. So in the summer, what we're going to be doing is creating our own internship program. And with this internship program, it will serve as a flow through. So all of the minority kids who successfully pass will be equally vetted, given the same opportunity, and whoever becomes the cream of the crop will have a shot with working with us. Now, what we can do is, once I, of course, establish an association with you all, is I can put ads on our online tech academy. I can make sure that all of the parents, in order to get into my organization, will have to pay membership dues for their children in order to to become members with BDPA, and then that's how we can get it started. We can do this in a month.
You're here.
Thank you. Thank you very much. All right. All right, it's, what time is it about? 8:10?
8:09.
So, how much time do we have here?
Ricky is moving.
Frank.
You can go.
Ricky saying?
Oh, Ricky, I'm sorry. Ricky,
Okay.
Can we hear you, Ricky?
I don't know, can you hear me?
yeah. All right.
No,
You can blame Skype for that.
Skype,
We're on
okay.
Uber now.
We're on Uber right now, so.
Well, I have a long and prosperous BDPA story. I attended my first program meeting 29 years ago this month. The speaker was Wallace Neal, who was with us tonight. And it was one of the more impressive experiences I had up until that time. I walked into a room full of black folks who were talking tech, and this was a brand new experience for me because all the other organizations that I had participated in had basically fat guys with ponytails. Not black fat guys. So it was a refreshing change for me, and it was an uplifting experience. And I joined. I learned networking from BDPA. Before BDPA, I only knew how to connect Macs together. I learned security. I learned database management. I learned project management and became a PMP all through BDPA and connections that I made. At the same time that I joined 29 years ago, I was starting my company, and I found that BDPA was an invaluable resource. Once I joined BDPA, I was placed in a training program that lasted 8 years, after which they finally let me drive the car. They put me in charge. It was a much different organization back then, as Mike can attest, because we worked together leading to that. And we had the resources of over 700 members. So it was a much different environment, and in some ways a much easier environment to cope with. The organization now has a much smaller footprint, and it's not just Chicago. The national organization has also shrunk precipitously and is now smaller than the BDPA Chicago chapter was when I was president. So we have more challenges and fewer resources, but I'm assuming it can be done because the vibrant organization that I walked into 29 years ago, much to my surprise, was only 5 years old. And it was already well established with procedures and methods and resources that I couldn't imagine at the time could be accumulated in a mere 5 years. So my hat's off to my mentors who are in the room with you, and they all know who they are. Thanks, guys. And Mike, who's always taking my calls, even when I wanted him to do impossible things. But that's what it takes. It takes a group of elders who are prepared to educate the younger members and pay it forward and help recruit and train and do the things that are necessary to create a strong organization. And that's what was done for me, and I've tried to do that going forward.
Very good.
Thank you. One last comment.
Mhm.
The only thing that hasn't changed in life is human nature. Technology will change, always changing, but human nature does not change. What brings people together and keeps them together is if a need is met. If a need is not met, people will leave. But if a need is met, they will stay. We have to find out what the needs are. What are the needs? You need, I need. Bring our needs together, we'll make something happen. Young man is absolutely correct. We need marketing. We need marketing in every area. You can have the enthusiasm, but if a person doesn't have any marketing skill, they need to partner up with somebody that has that skill. Keep the need going. Don't be afraid to look for it. And that's why you keep asking for, I need your help. I need your help.
Let me add to what this gentleman just said. The Forrester Research has recently dissected what you call it, the whole satisfying needs or providing solutions and whatnot to solving a company's pain or providing them more pleasure. So the essence of what BDPA has to do is figure out what they can do. Solve some pain or provide more pleasure, hopefully both.
So I just wanted to say that one thing I have noticed being going out and about is that a lot of the companies are still on some of the old systems. A lot of the older people aren't doing anything anymore. So I have proposed to the auditorium, because I'm connected with them in another way of doing a CIO reception. We're trying to bring the generations together, because what the younger people were telling me out in tech, that they didn't believe women could do COBOL, was that that the financial and the accounting systems were done, and they were so complex that they were done by the black and the brown people. So that's where, it's not the little quickie emoji coding and emoji, which is out there for some of the people too. So again, when I meet with some of the companies, they are so eager to bring in the Gen Zs. Now, we're not talking about the Gen Xers, so we gotta look at the generations. They're teaching the classes on, there are 5 generations in the marketplace, and I think sometimes we don't understand that we are all needed, and that's what I was seeing more with the auto industry. So then you're bringing in these Gen Zs, and the next generation that's going underneath them, and then you're partnering them up with someone who may be a boomer or a Gen Xer, so that corporation thinks that you do have validity. And so in terms of the student membership, it's not just the ones that Cheryl is dealing with and Bernard that are your high school level, but again, you have to look at, you have that like K through 12 or through 20 where you can then go into a major corporation and do tours. We had 3 offers this summer. We have nobody but a group of 7. So my thing is, if you don't want to retire and you want to refire, then I'm looking at people coming up to level up. I want to be, my goal is to be like Bryant, he's not in the room, but there he is, to be a lifetime membership, but still working at being a lifetime. And so one of my appeals would be lifetime. And then the other one is, we're not the only ones out here, which is why 1871 partnered with ITA this week, because again, a lot of the younger people do want to be founders. And so everywhere you go, they're founder. But in terms of what money they're bringing in, then you have to go back and look at, Boeing is needing help right now. What can we do? Nielsen has asked us to come in, just to kind of take a look. So I don't think that we're as, offbeat or off-brand. It's how you present yourself, and then it's believing in yourself and what you can do. And the way I look at it is, we're just where you guys started, but now we're starting it over again. That's how I look at it. And then you do look to the elders, because you do have the wisdom. How do you start? Think about it. You guys started when there was not even popular to be black, and yet you said I'm black. And now they're like, we want a ERG, which I was like, what's an ERG? So we call it the affinity group. They're seeking you if you're black. They're seeking, you, whatever you are, because they want to be diverse and they want to be inclusive. So the thing for us is, we do need more people, and we need people at their strong points, but we need everybody. So, you guys want to throw some money our way. If you want to be a lifetime, that's my goal. Lifetime membership, take a working one like Bryant, because if you look at, I haven't been connected in 10 years, then give the 1,000. Because it's something that this organization did for you is how I feel. That you can say, hey, I got a little bit of money, I can go help a kid. We're gonna do t-shirts. Brian put that website up so fast. We had a WordPress guy come in here, WordPress in a day. And it was like, they wanna do a $60 t-shirt. My thing was like, don't make people pay $60 for a t-shirt. Make them pay $50 and get 2 student memberships in here. You know, things like that. So, you know, or maybe you do a $100 t-shirt and you get 1 membership in. But things like that. The other ecosystems are having some issues as well too. So we're just not alone there.
There are 2 opportunities, Ms. Young Lady, just hit on one that BDPA can probably address and maybe go to market with that can really be very appealing to corporate America. And that's that I've read how the financial industry is hurting for skilled capabilities in the area of COBOL or Fortran, because all the legacy financial systems are based on that, you know. And then number 2, Google just announced that they're ending cookies. And which means that going forward, and that's what's in the next 2 years, which means going forward, it's gonna be very hard for all these companies, selling companies, e-commerce companies, to figure out how to, you know, get to their clients with their targeted ads. And the assumption is that right now the only alternative to cookies is where you go online, you go to a website, then you got to sign in, you know, and of course that's not going to be appealing. So there's got to be some alternative to cookies that BDPA, through its legacy generations and pipeline generations, can come up with a big solution real quick. And I'm telling you, they just announced this within the past couple of weeks, which means that the articles that companies are scrambling now to say, what are we gonna do?
Right.
So I'm just saying, maybe BDPA can answer that question.
All right.
Actually, I think Frank wants to start to close the program, so I think we have presentations to give to our speakers.
First of all, I want to thank all of the founders and people who used to be part of BDA's, Sheila, I'm sorry,
It's all right, you sleep.
I'm saying sleep. Deborah, Tanya, Karen, for coming back. We really appreciate that. And we have a small token of appreciation. We're gonna make sure all of the founders get a plaque. We have, who's the first person here? Marvin Walker, our first president. Thank you very much. We have also for Wallace Neal. Thank you very much. We need to get your address, Mr. Pittman, and we need to get your address, Mr. People, and we'll get your plaques here as well. Didn't know you guys were coming tonight, we would have had it for you, so we'll get that plaque for you. Thank you very much.
I wanted to say too that the plaques, the awards are courtesy of one of our former BDPA presidents, Reggie Rush. Wanted to say thank you for your service, your mentorship. He couldn't be with us tonight. He had a previous engagement. But again, he wanted to say thank you so much for mentoring him and, like you said, lighting the torch for him to be president and passing it on to John and others. And I am Charity McCoy. I'm the corresponding secretary. I'm a new board member this year. And I want to say thank you to all of you for lighting the torch and your vision and the mission work that you've done. And looking forward to working with David and others here in the room and continuing to, as you guys have said, reignite the passion of BDPA. My son, who's here with me tonight, is a mechanical technology engineer major at Purdue University in Hammond. And he is a product of your service of love. We are from Minnesota. I'm originally from Chicago, but by way of Minnesota, where my son was born and raised until now. We've been here for the past 2 years and first got introduced to BDPA through a church member where my son, for the last 2 years before doing his last year here, they taught him how to code computers with JavaScript, C++, and that has helped him in his mechanical technology program where he had to do that, coding the equipment in the labs and things. So thankful for all of the work that you guys have done. I'm so grateful. So thank you.
Again, those are hidden stories that so much of us have technology experience with us at BDPA that has helped us and it's made our connections stronger. To celebrate the awards, the little tokens that we've given you guys, we have a cake in the back, so before you leave tonight, please have cake and have communion with the rest of the organization.
Thank you.
Thank you.
It's time to network.
We want to take some pictures as well, that we can see the members.
Mike, thank you.
It's been a minute, right?
Good to see you, Rick.
I know, we all just kind of did the.
Address?
I'm checking your address.